CL. I still don't think I've fully cleaned up from Tuesday. But hi, I just wanted to get on for a short stream. I feel like I'm tapping over here. I don't know why I would. Hi, all I've had today is caffeine and sugar. Yay! But yeah, hello, hi, how you doing? We cleaned up like the first two-thirds of the mess, and then the last third was as big as the first two-thirds together. So no blame, no judgment, no worries. I got my green on. Got some green on today. So but you can still pinch me if you'd like, if you'd really like to. Yeah, but we're hungry. It's lunchtime. It's gonna be a quick stream, but I just wanted to pop on to say hi to your beautiful faces. Yeah, and I tried to upload. They didn't have any problems with Tuesday, but the week before when I streamed, Twitch is like, we think there's some copyrighted material, so we're gonna mute all your audio. So I'm not uploading that one either. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's St. Pat's. I hope everyone's having a nice day. No one's gotten pinched at work unless they wanted to get pinched. Always ask for consent. Not wearing green is not implied consent. So, unless it's your SO, and then pinch away. Perfect. Yeah. Although I really wish I had gotten some water on already, because I feel like that's going to be the longest part of this stream, is just boiling water. How's your day today, CL? Is it your work from home day? I can start prepping some. I don't know how much. So I have ratios, but I don't know how much cabbage this is. This looks like 4 cups of cabbage once cooked. Yeah, or pre-cooking 4 cups ish once chopped. So honestly, I'm just gonna do the potatoes that I think are gonna fit in this pot. It says, I think it's like 2 pounds of potatoes. So let's get a rough estimate. Plus, I'm gonna peel them. Okay, that's 2.5 pounds. Couple extra for good measure. Work was rough this morning, but chillin' now. You're working from Wasabi's house. I sassed him yesterday for being online in the middle of the day. He never responded. Wasabi. So, I'm just going to be lazy about peeling. I'm going to peel so I don't have to scrub. But I'm also not going to worry about getting into the little nooks and crannies. So I'm just going to peel for the most part. These are also not the potatoes it says to use for traditional Irish dish, but it's the potatoes we have, so it's the potatoes we're using. So if you've never had Colcannon, and I have not ever had Colcannon, I don't think, it's mostly just mashed potatoes. So easy, hearty, inexpensive side dish. Although when I was looking at variations, it's like, oh, you could put bacon in it. So now that I've said the word bacon, I'm betting my husband has heard it and been like, ooh, bacon, you should put bacon in it. Ah, this is the worst. Round potatoes. Whoever decided to get round potatoes? Round. No, I wouldn't peel those at all. Because they'd be tiny. Why would you peel tiny potatoes? Seems like a pain in the tuchus. Okay. I just learned about this dish the other day when I was sitting having a coffee date with a coworker, and she is mostly vegetarian, and we were talking about St. Pat's coming up. And she's like, yeah, so I'll make this, and it's delicious. And also, I don't have the time or effort in me to make corned beef, which is a several day process. Just gonna slice my potatoes into chunks so they boil faster. I should put them on a cutting board or something, but whatever. Not doing a heck ton of slicing over here, so. But I am gonna rinse them. Okay. This is Bobby gonna come hang out with us tonight too? Alright, I should salt this water. Because I want seasoned potatoes. Okay. Alright, and I was just going to throw some of these garlic cloves in there to soften up, because these will mash right up with the potatoes when you mash them. I'll save some to chop up to cook with the cabbage, because we'll get a slightly different flavor profile. The just the heated soft mashy, and then the sautéed, different little profiles of garlic. I've also just got some leftover bread stuff that I'm gonna toast up out of the freezer for our sandwiches. I'm gonna be amused by the imprints on the on the paper from where my husband made little mini pigs in blankets the other day. Okay. So I can start just chopping my cabbage. And the nice thing about cabbage is you don't gotta do a ton of slice chop action, because it will wilt down pretty well for you. I did remove the core already, and trimmed off some of the little browning edges because it was getting a little brown. Kind of want a giant cleaver for doing this, but it happened. It worked. We're good. And I also got some green onions over here. So I was chatting with someone the other day about this because I had just learned about it and he didn't know anything about it either. And apparently if you can do he was asking about purple cabbage for this, or if that was like a no-go. And nothing I could find regarding Colcannon really mattered. It seems like it's, or didn't like, it's not green cabbage because tradition and meaning. It's just kind of a staple food they had around. So if you had purple cabbage and you wanted to do this with purple cabbage, go for it. Stirring hello. Welcome in. How you doing? I hope your day is going well. You doing anything for St. Pat's? And then because it is Irish Day, I'm going to use the good Irish butter because this is a very butter flavor forward dish. And when it's a butter forward dish, you use the good butter. Then all my cabbage just goes in this pan. What spiders are you fighting in Fallen Order? Right? It just kind of snuck up on us. I had a friend from the gym the other day that was running the half marathon that is every year at St. Pat's. And I'm like, oh, it must be St. Pat's because he just ran that half marathon. So... yeah, didn't even realize. Well, I knew it was like on the horizon, and so I had some ingredients ready to go. But I was not necessarily expecting it to be today already. Okay, so let me get this on a plate. So I got a nice little segment of time to deal with this. This is the cake we made on Tuesday that didn't get any airtime, really, because it was Pie Day, and so... No fees. This is just a short stream for lunch because I was hungry and I'm like, oh, it's St. Pat's. I might as well do something to acknowledge it and make some St. Pat's food. Plus, it mostly motivated me to clean up the kitchen a bit, which is necessary motivation. But yeah, this is the cake from the other day. We got some chopsticks over here. My pot over there is boiling over, but I can't bring myself to care because it's just water. And that'll help me clean up the stove later anyway. Is this crazy? Is this a weird opinion of mine? Oh no, the water's boiling over. The hot water will just help clean up the stove. Tell me if I'm out of my mind, but... So I've got some orange syrup that I made, which is just 1-to-1 sugar and water boiled with a bunch of orange segments. And I put a bunch of holes in my cake. And then you just pour the syrup right onto that. And then that soaks in, and it keeps your cake from being dry. It also gives it a lovely orange flavor. And I'm going to go extra heavy, because the cake has been sitting for a few days already, so it probably dried out a little bit in the interim. Yeah, if it was boiling over milk, I would be worried, but it's water. It is a gas stove, but I mean the pot is wider than the burner, so it's not really hitting the fire. I don't know. I can't bring myself to be that concerned. I also got a nice green drink, which is just it's got spirulina or algae or seaweed or something in it. I don't know. It's my athletic greens. It's healthy. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. But I hadn't considered that before. But I know there is some stuck-on junk on the stove, so the hot water is definitely helping out with that. I'll just have to make sure to clean it up right after stream, which you know is my strong point. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's chop up some nuts. So the cake calls for pistachios, but I don't have any pistachios, so I'm just gonna use some pecans because that's what I have.
Can you make pecan sandies?
I suppose. Those sound like terrible cookies.
Have you not had them?
I've had like it's just shortbreads with pecan in them, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so. I mean, I guess it should be fine. There's sablé cookies, which just means sand cookies in French, I want to say. So a pecan sandy is probably like a sablé cookie, which is just a drier shortbread. It's supposed to be crumbly. That has pecans in it. Anyway, so I bet I could make them, but it's not been like on my radar of things to make. I'm gonna go run Stream Raiders and check the recipe for this. Oh, I was gonna start some pretzel dough too. Again, just because I'm trying to use up some yeast, because we bought a new pack of yeast. Okay. Cup of milk. Because when I was asking around on what to use yeast for, the guidance I received was make pretzels from my friend Taylor. That's 2 tablespoons, sure. And 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Because you need something for the yeast to eat. If I can only find my brown sugar and my tablespoon. You know what? A quarter cup is 4 tablespoons, so I'm just going to use most of a quarter cup. I also have this bulgur wheat from the other day that I need to find a good use for. There. That's a quarter cup, almost. It's not packed, so that's pretty close to 3 tablespoons. There we go. Perfect. We're baking. We're baking. Gonna check my potatoes. No, potatoes need more time. Which is expected. Stay hydrated, chat. No, not in theory. You could come read the ingredients to me. I did just say 3 cups of flour, right? And keep the milk on low because you just want to warm it and melt the butter and dissolve the flour. You don't want it boiling because then it will kill the yeast. Did I say 3 cups of flour? You're not helping. 3 cups of flour. That's 1 cup. That's 1 cup. No, I'm out of flour. It's alright. Use a little bread flour. I'll be fine. It's pretzels, so... they're pretty bready as it is. It's amazing how fast you use that flour and you make a couple loaves of bread. I gotta have a tablespoon somewhere. Somewhere in this house, a tablespoon lives. Oh, we could do a half tablespoon. And I've still got this much yeast. It's like 2 more loaves of bread. 3 more loaves of bread of yeast at least that I've got to make just so I can open my new yeast. I guess I could just I could pour it out and then pour it on top of the new yeast, but something seems weird about that since it's alive. I don't know. Is that just me? It might just be me. I'm gonna check my Colcannon, or my cabbage. My cabbage is sizzling. I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. I'm gonna turn off my milk too. I do want to retain. I don't want to get too much brown in the cabbage because I want it to retain the green color. Because again, it's St. Pat's, so green. We're going green. I'm also gonna put a couple spoons of my my chili in there because why not? It's green and it's delicious, and I gotta use it up. There we go. I'll just let that cook out. I don't want to go too heavy on it, but I'm not worried about the spice because we're putting it in a mass of potatoes. Yeah. I don't know how long. I mean, the bread's been rising fine, so I'm assuming the yeast is good. And we do a lot of baking, although the husband usually makes sourdough, so he's not using yeast. Salt. And the recipe, the recipe, it's like expiration dates on a lot of things. Like, smell your milk. If the milk doesn't smell bad, it's fine. The recipe says run this in the mixer for a minute so it's well combined. And I'm like, why? Why? It's flour and salt and yeast. Don't be weird, folks. That didn't need to be in the mixer. Although I'm going to put it in the mixer because I'm going to get the dough hook on it. I'm not finishing the pretzels on stream. I just figured it was something I could start and do later. Okay. I'm gonna whisk this together just to make sure my sugar is dissolved. Yeah, I'm gonna use the mixer for the bread hook to get the to do all the kneading on the pretzels. But it seemed weird to use it for a minute, a full minute, to mix some flour and yeast. I'm gonna temp this. Oh yeah, it's way too hot. I'm gonna pour some extra milk in here just to cool it down. And probably get it out of this container. Because that container is nice and hot. So, let's get it in something cooler. Nope, that's way hot. I don't want to put it in at 150 degrees because that'll kill the yeast, like, immediately. So let's just put a piece of ice in there. Let it cool down for a minute, and then I'll put it in the mixer. It'll also be okay as long as I don't just dump it all in at once. If I pour it in slowly, that'll help. Got that cream sitting there too. That's for the potatoes. Could probably check the potatoes again. Almost there. They're not quite fork tender. We got another 2-3 minutes on the potatoes. Which is good, because then I can start getting my sandwich stuff together. Which will be nice and easy. Because we made some beef the other day. We're pretending this is corned beef. Because why not? And let me slice some cheese first. So I'm just making what's a equivalent-ish to like a corned beef sandwich, which is kind of like a Reuben. I'm not going to put Russian dressing on it, but I'm going to get a little bit of melty cheese and a little bit of tasty cheese. And then I'll slice my beef thinly. It's one of those things that's like nice to have, but seems wild to purchase because it's expensive. I don't know. I actually don't know how expensive it is. To have like a meat slicer. I feel like, one, I wouldn't use it enough to justify it, and two, I don't have any place to put it.
What do you need?
Nothing. I don't need it. Don't buy it.
What is it?
Meat slicer. What? Okay. I'm going to put this, start pouring it into my flour back here. Yeah, my husband's sister has one. They use it for special occasions. Okay, that is just combined, and it's struggling now with the dealie already. So now it's time to switch to the dough hook. Okay, dough hook, which is somewhere. Maybe. I think. Oh, it's right here. It's sitting there right like I almost like I put it there for the occasion. Okay. Now that'll just sit there and run. And hi Izzy, how you doing? Okay. I'm just gonna put my cheese and meats on the bread to get a little bit warm and a little bit toasty, a little bit melty. You gotta sample it, make sure it's good. The gallon of green dye. I'm not drinking any beer, so I don't have anything to dye green. But my beverage is plenty green. This is my green beverage. Oh look! And we got Izzy on here. No dyeing the food. Do you want me to dye the pretzels? I'll dye the pretzels. I've got green sanding sugar for the pretzels. No. I'll put some on the cake. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. That's icing. Here. Got some green dye. Just for you, green pretzels. Are you trying out Rumble? It's good. Oh, we get to rank up? Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was out yet. I need to, because I thought it was still not quite out. But if it's out, then I should get it. Or tell my husband to get it, because he's the one that has the VR headset. What was I using to stir this? Let's use some tongs. Do we have tongs? Where'd they go? There they are. Try not to spill your cabbage all over the floor. Okay. It's like kneading it in 3 separate little dough balls, which is weird. There we go. Okay. I've got hot pads around somewhere. Hi TSD, hello. It's the mixer sounds. It's fine. Okay.
Having a hard time forming. You got 2 balls in there.
Yeah, I know. I had to give it a little zhuzh.
Got double balls.
Triple balls? Who's in pain?
Oh, word doggo. Stressing doggo.
What? Oh no! There's my cream. I'll also put some more butter in here. Give it a good mash. There we go. That's looking like some nice smooth dough. It always needs to go for like 5 minutes. Okay, and then we put the... Let's move this back over to the stove so I can add the cabbage. No! I don't know. I have a hard time editing myself, so I don't know what I would do. And I'm not the best at making pretty food, so I do liken myself a little bit to Julia Child, because she was the one that's like, if something goes wrong and it still tastes good, they don't have to know anything went wrong. And that's the thing about when you're watching a cooking show and someone's like, oh yeah, I'm making this and this and this, and then they bring it to the table,
And they're like, I was expecting this Parmesan tuile to be with this. And it's not like the dish even needs it, but you promised us a Parmesan tuile. So I'm like, just don't promise the judges anything, because then they can't be like, oh, where's this thing? It's wild to me. Like, it would have been a little, yeah, maybe it would have been better with it, but it's not like it's a bad dish or even missing anything without it. Yeah, just don't promise anything to the judges. Tell them, I'm making you some heckin' food, you can eat it and be happy, and get the heck out. But yeah, I'm a little bit like Julia Child when I cook, and I'm like, that's why my show is called It's Good Enough, because maybe it doesn't look the best, maybe I overcooked the cabbage, so it's not super green anymore, but whatever. It's still the same ingredients. It's got a little bit of toasty flavor on it. It's not like it's burnt. It's just not super green. And like Clarion said, maybe just throw a little green dye in there. Maybe. I was looking at those sprinkles for a second, thinking about putting the sprinkles in them, but that would have been a terrible idea. Serving water. There. Look, now it's just a little bit extra green. And no one's the wiser. Because it's not like I'm doing this live in front of you. Little green bits. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to get this out of the way. Put the lid back on it so it stays hot. Let's finish the sandwiches. So I'm not putting much else on the sandwiches except for nice, fresh tomato. A gastronomic reduction. See, the dangerous thing about that is like, they'd be like, this is delicious, but it needs more sauce. I'm loving this butter on my tomatoes. Okay. Some nice tomato on there. That's honey mustard. Let's not use that. Here we go. Got some horseradish mustard. There we go. There's our sandwich. Nice and simple. Also, I don't work my stations clean enough for a cooking show. Like, the judges would be coming around all the time and be like, wipe down your damn station! And, yeah, I don't know. And of course, the key to the Colcannon is to make a little well and put another knob of butter down in there for serving. So that is the Colcannon. And then let's let's top our cake. So the syrup has had time to to penetrate down in. And what I find wild about this recipe is they say the topping is just natural Greek yogurt. So I've got some thickened yogurt here, which is just Greek yogurt that I strained, let run through some cheesecloth. So we got a bunch of the extra whey out of it. It's even thicker. That's our nice little spread on top, which should give us a nice little tang to go with a sweet orange cake. And then this is just enough to help our nuts stick to it. Shipwreck, hello. And if I had the pistachios, they'd be slightly green. But since I don't, I do have some green sprinkles. There, perfect. Perfection. Even better if my lights would have stayed on. Cake. Look at that. It's a semolina cake even, and I think that's really it. I just wanted to get on and say hi to you lovely people. It seems like a feast. Although it didn't take very long, because most of the steps were done already. Thank you so much, TSG. I'm glad you had a chance to stop by. And this was, even for me, this was a short stream. But I'm ready for lunch. And that's fine. So we'll find someone to rate out to. Looks like Kinji is still going. Or Aeon. No, I rated Kinji the other day, so let's rate Aeon. I don't think I've rated Aeon because I'm usually on much later. So let's rate Aeon. Why not? They're both playing. They might even be playing together. And pop. Y'all, thanks for coming by at this odd time. I hope everyone's having a great St. Paddy's Day. Stay safe tonight. Make sure you hydrate with water in between your other maybe adult beverages. I'll be back tomorrow for Cozy Crossword and Coffee Time. There's my camera. But until then, please make yourself a lovely beef sandwich, corned or not. Some delicious, that's over here now, some Colcannon, and treat yourself, have some cake for dessert, and send me the photos because I'm sure whatever you make is going to be good enough to eat. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye.